Hey everyone, it's Melanie Benson-Strick here, America's leading authority on optimum performance and founder of Money DNA, and I have a really special guest here with us today. This is Carrie Gallant. Hello, Carrie.
Hi, Melanie.
Hi, Carrie's here from Gallant Solutions, and she is known as a negotiations and leadership expert. And I'm so thrilled that you wanted to jump in today and just share a little bit about your big breakthrough, because I think there's a lot of people that can so relate to your journey and probably are having a really similar experience to where you started with me just a few months ago. So if you don't mind, share with me a little bit about where your business was just a few months back before you started with me in Money DNA.
Sure, happy to, Melanie. Well, it was the beginning of the year, just at the very end of the year, and I was facing what seemed like yet another year where I was going to be pushing that rock up the hill, just like Sisyphus, and was going to roll back down again. And I'm really tired of getting the same old results, and I really was looking for something new. And when I came across your Money DNA program, my eyes just lit up because I've worked in money programs before. I'm even certified in a money program to help others as well as myself. And yet there was something about your program that really spoke to me that I knew was going to get at that thing or those things that were in my way, that I kept pushing up that hill and really looking for some great results. And I just saw so much in what you had to offer from your business experience in the past that was really meant that this wasn't just going to be about shifting my inner world and my thoughts and feelings around money, but this was going to be grounded in real business principles and be very practical as well.
That's a really good point, because I think we do need the inner and the outer. And I think one of the things that, we tend to focus on one or the other, and there's not a lot where both are integrated. So I'm glad that you brought that up. And, one of the things we focus on is a blueprint. We all have a blueprint that is guiding us through the process. So I'm wondering, was there a catalyst for you, kind of like a pivotal moment? Because I think a lot of people, we kind of live in a state for a long time, and then something happens and we're like, enough. I'm just not going to do it like this anymore. Was there a moment for you like that became your catalyst?
Well, I guess it kind of relates back to that feeling like I was still going to be pushing that rock up the hill. And I really resonated at the very outset. I can't even remember, Melanie, if it was in one of the signing up for the program or right at the I know it was right at the very beginning too, but when we were identifying with those blueprints and I saw myself in a few of them, frankly, but the one that resonated the most at the time was about the busy addict. Because part of pushing that rock up the hill, I actually was pushing 3 or 4 of those rocks up the hill, and I felt very scattered and very unfocused and just keep trying to do the same old things, not even just the same old thing, but just busy on that treadmill and really not finding a way off to get to the place that I really wanted to get to, which is, one of my core values is about freedom, and freedom meaning a whole bunch of different things, but I just wasn't getting there. So that really was my catalyst.
Yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to the busy addict, because in our culture we make it great. It's like it's a sign of success that we're busy all the time. But I think one of the things that you learned, and for anybody who wants to learn about these blueprints, understanding that we are wired to be busy, not productive in that blueprint, is a huge breakthrough. So what was the big shift for you, going through the process? First of all, I guess before you maybe get into detail, was there a limiting belief or some kind of inner conflict that you think was going on for you?
Oh, I think there were several.
Where do I get my list out?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's, I think, as you say, we live in a world that rewards this notion of busyness, and it also rewards many other things, and messages that we grew up with, well, that in my case that I grew up with, and that I didn't realize I'd really taken on, and they were kind of deep rooted, and just looking at letting them go through the guided exercises that you gave us, both the visualizations as well as more of the practical exercises, really have made some definite inroads in letting those go. I wouldn't say I'm done with those yet, but definitely made some headway, and have created some room for more to come in and allow those opportunities away from that limiting belief.
You know, and again, you bring up such a great point in that, you know, we will have our breakthroughs, but it's about continuing to, it's like you're learning a whole new toolbox. You're integrating a new toolkit, if you will, of how to master your mind and recognize when stuff comes up. Because, you know, I think one of the misnomers is there's a magic pill that I'll take and it'll all go away or it'll all get better. And you know, I really have to commend you. You continue to work this process and really focus on the mastery. And I think that's what we all have to do. And when we learn the right process, that becomes so much easier. So what's happening now? Like, you know, I know you put a lot of really cool stuff into action, and you know, maybe you can give us a couple of specifics of the things that have really worked for you and how you're putting them into action.
Sure. Well, one of the things that I learned through your program that I've really been putting into action was the daily success mastery practices. And when you put that out there, I thought, oh, okay, I can do that. I can do that. Now, do I slip up sometimes? Well, it's just like, you know, do I eat perfectly every day? Well, not quite, but you know, I do a lot better than I used to, and those success practices, those daily practices, really help. And the daily mantras, I love those that you sent out towards the end of the program. They're really so uplifting and something that I can just, you know, I've got some stickies on my computer right now, a couple of them that are there, one in my bathroom, and, you know, all those kinds of things. So those two are two of the things that I've done that have really made a difference. And then a couple of other things in terms of the magnetic success generators that you teach, and implementing a couple of those systems have really helped me become more organized. My daily to-dos are a lot more focused on task, and my productivity has gone way up. And I'm creating some new, not creating some new programs, but some new offerings around programs that I already have, which was a great reminder to come back to what we already have and bring that forward. So lots of things are up towards the end of the summer and into the fall. So thank you so much for all of those systems and ideas and practices that you've helped me integrate into my world.
Oh, I get excited. I get chills just hearing you talk, because you know, it's one thing to learn it. It's another thing to put into action. And I'm loving hearing you and what you're putting into action, because you're really hitting the great tools that are going to make a big difference. And so, you know, I think success oftentimes is measured financially, and we think, okay, when I'm making all these extra dollars and the financial flow is back, then I feel like I'm a success. And I know that you're on target for a huge year this year. I might even be so bold to say it could be even double what you've done in the past, yeah, because that's what we're shooting for.
Yep.
But what I really want to focus on is the thing that most people forget is really the important part of transforming our mindset. And it's the feeling that comes with having a better system, having a better relationship with money and success. Like, how would you say you feel differently now?
Yeah, it's so true. You know, I can't even say that there's a cart and a horse and which one comes first, because they kind of go together. You know, it was doing the practical things together with the outer and the inner together that really helped to shift. And so, sorry, I just lost focus in my thought there for a second. I think the things that are really on track for me. Oh, the feelings. Sorry.
That's
yes,
okay.
The feelings at the end of the day that really drag it forward. But in terms of creating those feelings, I think doing both the inner and the outer work. That's where I was getting to. Doing both the inner and the outer work together really have helped bring forward new feelings and focusing in on them. So, you know, I feel clearer. Like I know where I'm going. I can see the end of this year, for example. I can see it's not only possible, it's doable, and it's going to happen, right? It's just like that whole feeling of clarity, of confidence, clarity and confidence. I mean, they're so huge. You can't buy that stuff.
Yeah, well, exactly. You know, we learn to invest in ourselves and learning how to shift who we're being on the inside so that everything on the outside can change to deliver the results we want. And you're really living proof of that. And I just, applause.
Thank you.
So let's say someone is trying to make a decision. How am I going to get to the next level in my money game or in my business this year? You know, could you give them a piece of advice from the transformation you've had that would help them make the focus or make a decision that's really going to be valuable?
Right. Well, I'd say number one, first of all, is you don't have to do it alone, and to get some help, and go as fast as you can and get Melanie's help, because I really do, honestly, I believe that you have the goods. Oftentimes, when I'm trying to work through and doing something, and I hear a kernel of your personal story, your journey of transformation, and I go, oh, okay, well, if she can do it, I can do it, right? So it's that whole piece that makes it a lot easier to see that somebody's living proof of exactly what she's teaching, putting into practice the things that you did that transformed your world, and seeing how it's working for me. I can say without a doubt, this isn't just a one-shot or one-trick pony, right? It's not something that just works for you. This is something that can work for anyone, provided they're willing to go on that journey and do that work.
Yeah, so you're saying it's replicatable. It's not just
Absolutely.
something that I did that is hard to replicate. It's literally like it's a process that anyone can put into action if they're willing to, really look at their process and what they're doing and make some adjustments.
Yeah, and get that help too.
Yeah.
Because the challenge, I think, is we're always often trying to do things on our own, especially as women. We think we all have to do everything ourselves. And it's great to have someone in your corner, and a group of people as well. I mean, the community that's been going through the Money DNA program and the Life Mastery program is just phenomenal.
Yeah, they really are. It's just been such an extraordinary group, and whether you're doing it at your own pace or you're doing it as part of a group, it's all about knowing that a process and a system that maps out the steps and you can follow it and replicate it. I think it kind of gives people a little bit of a safety net, if you will. It's like if I know what to do, then I can create a shift. So, anything else you want to share before we wrap up?
Well, I just want to thank you so much for offering this program and bringing all of yourself into it. So it's not just, I'm listening to somebody wax eloquent about all of the things that we should do, but, actually bringing in the practical stuff and also inspiring us to do that. Your belief in us that we can do this, as well as knowing your own transformation, I think are huge pieces. So thank you. Thank you for bringing this out to us.
Thank you, Carrie. It just makes my heart expand to hear all your breakthroughs and that you're willing to share this. And I'm just so excited for what's happening for you. And it just makes me happy. So, Carrie Gallant, Gallant Solutions, master around leadership and negotiation. And go check her out. And thank you so much, Carrie, for being here today. And goodbye, everyone. If you're looking for Money DNA, you could just follow the link below, and you can check out this free training that'll help you get started finding your blueprints and the breakthrough that's waiting for you.